Hello everyone and welcome back to some more F1 League Racing action here today. Now, as you can tell by the title and possibly the length of the video, this is a bit of a longer one because it's two races in one episode. Essentially, we're covering this race right now, the PSGL finale at COTA, and then followed up by the most recent WOR race at Hungary. So, a two race in one episode, so hopefully stick around and enjoy. I'll leave timestamps down below as always, and yeah, let's get into it. As always, the previous episode will link in the top right for PSGL. I'll link the previous WOR episode at the time when the next race starts later on. Now we got off to a pretty rough start in qualifying here in COTA, as we had a bit of a moment, and I'm still struggling with the car here in the heavy rain conditions in qualifying. Eventually we started to figure it out and started to find the balance and got things to work, and yeah, it's essentially one of them sessions where the track's going to keep drying as it goes on, so we should see the inters appear later on and possibly the dries, you never know. Either way, here we are at the end of our first push lap. Now you saw we just invalidated, so we're now going for a second attempt, a second push.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
It should give us a bit of an idea in terms of where we are for pace. So yeah, we'll have the delta to aim for in the first sector, so we'll know if we're in a good lap. And you can see straight away we keep the first corner nice and clean, and we went on to keep pushing on the lap. A couple of purple sectors and looking pretty decent, to be fair, already on this second run. Bit of a moment there though through the triple rights as we struggle with the back end trying to hold on to the car, as we again have another moment through the penultimate corner. But now into the final apex as we run up to the line. Our first proper lap is going to move us into P5, and that is not terrible, to be fair, only a 10th off P3, so pace is looking relatively okay. I actually pushed on again. I was up by half a second, but I pit because the track was drying and I wanted to get a few runs out on the intermediate. So we boxed, switched tyres, moved on to the inters, and you can see we're now P10, and everyone is also on the inters as the track is drying. So being on the track at the right time is key, and I'm actually going to be on the wrong part of the track. You can see here with a minute 41 to go, this is now going to be our very last lap. Now ideally, in hindsight, what I needed to do was be 4 or 5 seconds up the road and essentially get an extra lap in, which I'm not going to get. So because the track is constantly drying, I'm going to be the last car, the first car should I say, to finish the lap and not get another chance to improve. So it really isn't ideal. Anyway, it's all or nothing. We have to push and give it everything, and that's exactly what I plan to do. Already in the first sector, up by 2.5 tenths as we now make our way through the end of the S section, over the top of the hill, and now down through the kink, down to the hairpin. Already 3 tenths up as we brake just before the 50, down to 4th gear, pick up your apex, and then smooth on the power out of here and be very, very gentle as we're half a second up, which is insane. The track's getting faster. I can even say the track is getting faster, and you can see on the screen as well, purple laps are coming in, so it's not ideal. All these people that are crossing the line are going to get another lap, so we have to make this count. A little bit wide there, I would have liked to have taken a bit more inside curb, but sector 2 is good. We're purple and it looks strong, half a second up on P3. This is right on the money here to give us what we want. Into the double Fs, nicely done through there, smooth on the power, trying to cut out the wheel spin as we're pretty much 7 tenths up now. Absolutely flying as we head through the triple rights. A bit of a moment again there, but we hold on to the car and we still keep the advantage. We nail the penultimate corner and we're now 8.5 tenths up as we make our way to the final corner. Checkered flag drops. Is this going to be enough? Up to the line we go. Can it be pole? Ah, fuck, I just bottomed out on that curb. Now we made a small error, you can see at the final corner. We just bottomed out a little bit, and it just affected me getting the power down. Nonetheless, it was kind of irrelevant because those who got the extra lap got really good track conditions. It was getting really, really fast, and we finished in P7, but still, I take some positives knowing that the pace in the wet is strong, and that, in kind of similar conditions, we were competitive, but obviously then the track dried out and others went faster. Either way, P7, not too shabby, I'll take that. And yeah, we're now going to move to the race and see if we can try and hopefully get some decent points in this last race. So here we are then for the race, currently dissecting and thinking of a strategy to go for. Now, we done this race a couple of weeks ago in WR, so it's relatively fresh in the memory, so I know what works, what doesn't work. Tyre wear is pretty high here, and it's a tough circuit to get right.
I don't know what to do here. I can't even remember the fuel. Do you know what I done on fuel last time?
Now, while I debate strategy, if you look at the screen, you'll see for some reason the game has selected the alternate strategy for me as a default when I'm looking at my chat and I didn't realise at the time. So unfortunately, we're going to start the race on the wrong strategy.
Oh, where am I on softs for? What? I went for hards. Why's that game done that? I double checked it. I went hard tyres.
Now, unfortunately, because of that, it's going to pretty much ruin our race, to be honest with you.
I'm not tripping, am I? Someone clip it.
And yeah, it's really not what you want, because it essentially forces me onto a two-stop as we already pick up a very early warning.
Oh,
And yeah, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where it doesn't happen often to me, but I lost my head. I got way too angry and distracted. It was such a distraction and such an annoyance being forced onto this strategy that I wasn't focused at the race start. I wasn't being aggressive making moves. I got two stupid warnings, and yeah, lap 2 now I started to get my head on straight and try to think, okay, let's just try and see what we can do. Maybe a safety car can get us out of trouble later on. Now I'll weave on the Modesto there to give him a bit of a thank you, as out of turn 1.
oh, I give up, bruv. I give up. Fuck hell. Fuck. It's throwing me off. It's just completely throwing me off. I give up. This is the last race. Tyre, oh, I got 2 warnings already. Why did the game put me on that tyre? Why? Since when does the game select the alternate strat as the preset strat? Should have noticed, but like even still, sake, it's not something I think about because it's never happened before.
Now then, lots of colourful language later, a couple of pit stops, and essentially me praying for a safety car.
Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
We skipped all the way onto lap 23, and rain was forecast. Now, it doesn't make a difference. We still need, you know, a safety car or a virtual safety car. I did need a safety car really to get back into the race, so this doesn't make much of a difference, to be honest with you, at this stage.
This is it now. Safety car right now or nothing. We're done.
As you can hear me say, a safety car has to arrive right now because the leader is on lap 24, about to go on to lap 25.
Okay, it's raining at least anyway.
And it is now raining, but like I said, you need a safety car at this point, and the safety car will be launched
You need to come down fast.
when there's 3 laps to go or more. So the leaders right now are making their way onto lap 25, which gives them 4 laps to go. So this is it. This is essentially the last lap for a safety car to arrive. In the meantime, the rain is falling. You can see I've also got a penalty to my name, which is a bit of a shame. I got that final warning, which kind of put the nail in the coffin in terms of, you know, realistically any chance of me getting in decent points. Even if the race...
Okay, be mindful of the conditions. The track's getting wetter. Recommend you stay out for now, though. We'll be much slower if we move on to inters this early.
Even if the race, you know, were to reform, there's a very slim chance we'll get points. But still, you know, I'm always hopeful. I'll always try.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
But we're going to select box this lap to retire the car.
Okay, you're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
It's never real rain, it's Mickey Mouse rain.
As you can say, it's Mickey Mouse rain, which essentially means you're not really going to benefit by going onto the inters. You'll probably be able to stay on the dryers. All the way through, as the car instantly snaps on me as I say that, and also DRS gets disabled. But if it is an intermediate stint, it won't be a very long one.
Okay, the stewards have now disabled DRS. DRS is now disabled. There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
You probably could try some other dryers, although we've now been offered the switch to intermediates, which we're going to take. But you can see,
Where's my teammate?
I'm going slow, and I'm going to...
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Now you can see me just checking for my teammate. I don't want to ruin his race, but we're going to retire the car. you know, we're now beyond the safety car window. Nothing can happen at this stage. And yeah, race done for us here at COTA. Or at least that's what I thought, as Jonas Martins retires and out of nowhere, literally the one thing I spent 25 laps waiting for arrives in the most unlikely of windows. Literally with a quarter of a lap to go in terms of what's possible, a safety car gets deployed. Now luckily I can say I wouldn't have caught up even if we'd stayed in the race. I was just so far back after doing 2 stops that it wasn't going to happen. The safety car only lasted 1 lap.
It might just make and Andres will just make it. I was like, what, 40 seconds behind these, or 30 seconds, or 20 seconds, I don't know, but like, I was a bit too far back, I think. 20 seconds is behind. 45? Yeah, no chance. Oh well, I guess I'll make for a funny clip probably. 20 seconds or 45? If it was 20, I might have just made it. 28. Oh, that's close. I mean, looking at how slow they're going right now. But to be fair, I did spin, didn't I? So, yeah, that's irrelevant.
So yeah, pretty much race done, a race to forget, and a poor way to end the season. And, you know, a pretty poor look at the standings, finishing in 25th place. Probably my worst league racing season. If not ever, then it's pretty damn close. The only positives really were Australia, which was a great race, and also little did I know that Spain, round 1, would actually be a pretty decent race for me as well. But yeah, we've had a miserable time of it here this season, and it just hasn't been what I hoped for. So yeah, with that done, I guess we can now move into WOR, the most recent race, and see what happened there. First of all, though, a little bit of context, as there was something that happened going into this race. Skiing was great, except for one issue, which is going to affect me in tonight's race, and that's this. So, I had been skiing the week before, and this race took place on Monday evening. I'd been skiing all of last week, and I fell and got injured, had to get stitches in my right thumb, so I had to drive a bit weirdly, a bit abnormally, with my thumb basically out of the kind of usual place where I'd, you know, rest it. If you look at my left thumb in the bottom left, you can see I put it through, you know, the little grip, but I have to kind of leave it resting vertically up, which just felt really weird. I was okay pace-wise, but it never felt natural at any point to me. Nothing special. Didn't feel that great, but we'll take it. At least it's banker. So with the banker lap out of the way, the pace actually felt good going into this. I was actually low-key confident. I was struggling here massively, but I unlocked some pace just before, and I was actually relatively optimistic heading into this session that I could deliver. First banker was mid, nothing special, but I know I can do like a 14.8 in time trial, regular 14.9s, and I think I can do like a 15.0 here quite easily if I just get a pretty decent lap together. This was actually a really good start to the lap. Oh crap, I got lucky there, Jesus, very lucky. Surprised it went. I felt pretty planted, pretty comfortable there, surprised it went. Now, one downside of the thumb injury I have is that I'm not able to save the car that much or that well. Because of the force feedback, the car just snaps out of my hand and I cannot use my right hand to help, you know, the resistance. So chances are, if I lose the car, I have a moment, I'm going to lose it pretty dramatically and I'm not going to be able to save it. So I've got to try and keep it clean, and, you know, that moment right there was not ideal. Anyway, on to the last qualifying lap then. Our last set of tyres and our last attempt. This time we're not up by as much. We avoid having the same instant, but we lose a bit of time through there, which isn't ideal. No, I'm not happy with that. I can do better than that. I'm not happy with that. And I said to myself, you know what? I'll go a little bit earlier. I've got enough fuel. If I'm not happy with the first attempt, I'll try one more time. So here we go. For the very last time, let's send it in qualifying, and let's see if we can hopefully get a decent lap together as we make our way down to turn 1. Braking at the curb, down to 4th gear. Try to keep a little bit of throttle on as we then get the power down. A little bit slow to get the power on exit, and also the DRS open, but we're up by approximately a 10th into turn 2. Keep it tight, back on the power as we're matching our previous attempt, as we lose a little bit of time again there through the exit, and we're only up by 600, which isn't what I was hoping for. I could have been up by as much as, you know, 1.2 to 1.3 tenths. That's what I was going to do in my second run, and we lose time through turn 5, and it just hasn't been the lap that I hoped for so far. For some reason, I'm just not able to find time, even though I know there's time to find. The lap just feels horrible. It's not coming together at any point.
This is such a shit lap. Oh my god.
And also, it doesn't help. There's lots of cars retiring, crashing, notifications on screen, and cars making errors everywhere, which is a bit distracting. Into sector 3 now, though.
Oh, forget about it.
Oh, god damn it! What an awful session.
So much pace potential as well. Such a tough track to get right.
And yeah, unfortunately, we're starting last. The whole grid, top to bottom, 20 cars covered by 6/10 or less. A very strong grid. Pace-wise, I think we could have, easily been top 10. I know I had the pace for that, but I just wasn't able to deliver. Having said that, I'd say anything below a 0.2 is a fairly decent lap. And to be fair, everyone clocked in at a 0.1 or a 0.0 in the top 12 or so. So it is a pretty competitive grid here today. So yeah, either way, qualifying disaster, rain forecast for the race though, so we may get a chance to turn this one around. Nope, it's not going to dry up by the looks of it, so should be interesting. And I think we've got a restart, so this is going to be a fun race. Well, I have no idea what to do or set up to fix this. You can probably tell by my voice I'm also a little bit ill for this one, which wasn't ideal. I'm still a bit ill now, but I'm much better than I was when I was doing this race. Either way, one thing I want to mention is there was a lobby restart after qualifying. And little did I know that would end up being essentially a decisive factor, because I don't know how to, convert myself from dry to wet. Besides wings, I don't know what to do. But this gave essentially everyone a chance by restarting the lobby to change their setup and run a wet setup, which is what I don't have. And that would end up being essentially the downfall for me this race, I think, in terms of my overall pace. Race underway though, and I got off to a pretty decent start. We took it very easy into turn 1, as Hungary is a very, very tough track to overtake, and you're going to get a bit of carnage here and there, so I'm happy to just take a back seat, even though I said to you guys I want to be more aggressive. I want to be aggressive at the right time, and you can see we get past the Bogdan Moldovan there, and heading into sector 2. We're looking to pick off a few more cars. Hopefully we'll get Lars in the Merc. As we got the inside, we've also got a car off there in the on the left side. That does cost us a little bit. Bogdan up the inside to the chicane. I have to leave a space, but we managed to still stay in front. Just about doing enough there, as we now head into the lefts and rights. We'll just edge ahead and get that move locked in. And I was looking to get Lars there, but the little incident with the car that went off just was a slight distraction. Getting the run through the right here, I tried it, but we just lost the back end at a crucial time, and I wasn't able to really commit to the move as we now head into sector 3 for the first time. The race is going to be entirely in these conditions, no change, light rain the entire race, intermediates all the way. So yeah, it's going to be a race of no DRS, which is even more the reason why these lap 1 passes are going to be key. As we got the inside of Lars and squeeze through, we struggle on the power though, and Lars gets back in front, which is just a bit of a shame and not ideal. Down to turn 1, using the battery, we're going to send it down the outside, and we're going to have a look at the McLaren here of Nicola later as well. Not quite able to get by, again struggling with traction, and Lars gets the run. I can't brake late into here because the McLaren's in front, so Lars gets the move round the outside, and he's going to make it work as we go back and forth, but he just gets back in front there. Had nowhere to go there, got boxed in behind the McLaren. So yeah, on to lap 2 now, sector 2, and we just have to kind of calm down and set into this race.
It's going to be impossible to overtake
This race.
and the pace is very similar between everyone. That's annoying. I'll slow down for that, and I've still got a warning.
Now we're really struggling, you can see here with oversteer, and I got my first warning. Pace is starting to drop off, the field is starting to pull away up ahead.
Worst thing that could happen is a lobby restart, gives everyone a chance to figure out a setup. I ain't got a clue how to do a wet setup, so I'm in trouble.
And like I said at the intro, that's kind of the issue here. You see the gap starting to grow, I'm starting to really fall back. And yeah, I just can't keep up, simple as that. It's rare that I have a genuine pace issue. I can usually make it work, but I could tell here, I think setup related, also confidence, but I wasn't feeling at my best. This fucking game makes no sense. And yeah, I was struggling. You can see again there, like I mentioned, with a hand issue. I was just about to save that, but I wasn't too comfortable saving that one. That one did hurt my hand a little bit. It was a little bit annoying at the time. But anyway, lap 15 now, another warning. Oh, fuck sake. I'm not even... I backed off. I went slow on purpose. Come on, man. I was starting to really struggle. And the issues were starting to pile up. Lap 18, we're up to P15. Cars have actually pit for a 2-stop, which is what I was going to go for. Now we picked up a very, very stupid, lazy third warning, just coasting outside the track limits. Very, very poor from my side, very poor standards. But anyway, after I got that penalty, I knew that it was kind of race over because he kind of banked on, you know, if there's a safety car, other cars might drop back. You know, they've got penalties, we'll finish ahead of them. But yeah, lap 20, I had enough. The pace was awful, and I thought there's no point in me even trying because even if there is a safety car, it's these conditions the whole race, and I can't change the setup, so we're just not fast enough, period. Oh, I'm bored. I'm so bored. I'm not there at all. And yeah, with that admission of honesty, hopefully guys enjoyed the 2-in-1. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to the members. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'm back soon with some more regular league racing content. Check out the Twitch link down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.